हेलो।
చట్నీ ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? చట్నీ ఏం చేస్తున్నారు?
అంబేద్కర్ కూర బాజు పెద్దమ్మ పోయి పవే
ఇంకా అవ్వలా ఉండు. ఏ కింద కింద చేస్తున్నావు?
చెప్పు మంజు వినపడి సన్నక్క ఈ వాయిస్ వీడియో అన్ని పెడుతుండ నాన్న. ఇంట్లో సౌండ్ కల్మాంతది ఆడ కాదు ఇటు వీళ్ళు
So your voice is not audible, please.
So if I am not audible for anyone, please report so that the main lecture will not have any problem.
Sir, good morning. Naram Naidu garu.
Good morning.
Doraji garu.
Good morning. Sir will speak, sir.
All the faculty
I am
members.
Doraji Rao.
Good morning, sir.
So yesterday with an auspicious this one we started to remember that, see, who is the most qualitative person. So in that regard, Saint Valmiki asked, Kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kasya viryavan dharmajnascha krutajnascha satyavakyo drudhavrataha charitrena cha ko yuktaha sarvabhuteshu ko hitaha vidvan kaha kas samardhascha kas chaika priyadarshanaha atmavan ko jitakrodho jutiman ko anasuyakaha kasya bibhyati devascha jataroshasya samyuge. So this particular phrase enlightens all good qualities. So that is the beauty of the cultural heritage of India. We never see the color or the physique. Beyond that, we see the qualities. And there lies our social skills. There lies our social integrity and cultural sensitivity. So for this program, we have a speaker, eminent speaker. Before giving the introduction to eminent speaker, I would like to invite now our respected Dean of Horticulture, Dr. Naram Naidu garu, to offer his opening remarks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Doraji. Respected guest speaker, Sri Vamsi Krishna Das Garu, Associate Dean, College of Horticulture, Viyargudam, Dr. Doraji, and all the Associate Deans of constituent colleges and also the affiliated colleges, and all the new incumbents of this prestigious university. A very good morning to one and all. You all are aware, at least the faculty across the colleges, that we are going to start or implement the 6th Dean's Committee recommendations from this academic year onwards. A lot of exercises have been gone into, and ICR at its meetings felt the need for this Deekhsharamb. The idea of Deekhsharamb was conceived to orient the new students about the academic program, social responsibilities, and also to sensitize them for the ethics and also the efficacies. So with this background, this Deeksharamb program has been initiated this year as a part of the curriculum, and we are going to start this Deeksharam from this year onwards from your batch itself. So this is a 15 days, a 2 weeks program in which you'll have to undergo a little bit of orientation and also a kind of training regarding the nature of the course which you are going to study, and also to impart some kind of the social responsibilities, and also to give you a orientation about the discipline which is expected of you at this campus. So with these few words, I thank every one of you for giving me this opportunity, and may I now request Dr. Doraji Rao, AD, College of Horticulture, Venkataramgudam, to introduce the today's guest speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for formally inaugurating the Deeksharamb program, a 2-credit course, and for the first 2 weeks offered to the 2014 admitted batch onwards as per the directions of 6th Dean's Committee recommendations. So now I would like to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Vamsi Krishna Das, who formally qualified as Masters in Business Management from a prestigious academic organization, SRM University, Chennai. And he also worked for a prestigious company for a few years, that is HP Computers, Chennai. And later, he worked as assistant professor in one of the most privileged and prestigious college of Bhimavaram, that is Sri Vishnu Engineering College. Later, he joined the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, during the year 2012 as a full-time volunteer. With a great philosophy of simple living and high thinking, he regularly organizes seminars and workshops based on ancient Indian traditions at various locations across the country, mainly focusing on educational institutions. So now I am privileged to invite Sri Vamsi Krishna Das Garu, and I am handing over the session to Vamsi Krishna Das Garu. And those listeners online, please raise your hand or put your queries in the chat box. Thank you. Please, sir. No, sir. In fact, if you want to move like this, you can take comfortable. Yeah, you can take that, but for a couple of minutes,
Okay,
please.
fine. So you are recording. Okay, good morning, everyone. Shubhodayam. So thank you for inviting us to this program. And the program is very well named as Deeksharamb. No, I hope you know what is Deeksha. Know what is Deeksha? Those who are from Telugu background, they can easily understand, of course, because majority of the Indian languages, they derived from Sanskrit. So everyone will have an idea what is Deeksha. Deeksha means basically commitment. Okay. If you see our Vedic tradition, it divides the human life into 4 stages of life. Okay. So considering that in this yuga or in this millennium, which is called as the age of Kali, have you heard this name, Kali Yuga? Right. So this particular age is called as the age of Kali. If we have to translate it into English, it is called as age of quarrel. No, age of Kali means age of quarrel. Kalaha. You understand this word, Kalaha, right? So this age of full of quarrel. No? So nowadays it doesn't, people doesn't need any big reason for fighting with each other actually. No? Especially it is mentioned in our Vedic Shastras that the conspicuous symptom of Kali Yuga is that people, they just start fighting with each other over petty issues. That's why in this millennium, it is very, very important that we should have very good discussion regarding the ethics and values. Okay. So this program is very rightly named that Deeksharamb, because you have taken a Deeksha to complete your course here, agricultural BSc. That's what. Okay. BSc honors horticulture. Okay. There is some difference between BSc agriculture and horticulture. Anyway, it's technical. I don't want to enter into that. And our dear sir, Doraji Garu, he started the session today with a very nice shloka from Valmiki Ramayana, Balakanda, whereby Valmiki, that is, it's a question posed by Valmiki actually. It's nice that this session started like that. And I have to appreciate especially the directors of these courses to institute such a introductory course, because it is important. Always the arambha means the starting should be very good. If we have a good starting, then the course will be very good. So Deeksharamb, so human life, as I was discussing, is divided into 4 phases according to Vedic tradition. The first phase is brahmacharya, or it is called a student life. Okay. It translates into student life. Brahmacharya means student life. It is from the age of 5 to 25. At the age of 25, one enters into the family life, that is called as Gruhastha life. Gruhastha means one who is situated in the house. He is called as Gruhastha life. And from the age of 50 to 75, hardly if someone has to survive. Nowadays, the average lifespan has decreased so much. Can you tell me what is the average lifespan in India now? Something around 60 like that. But our Vedic scriptures, they have calculated that the average lifespan of a person in Kali Yuga to be 100 years. You see where you are. Now, what is it? So this age of Kali, actually, it commenced 5,000 years back. Okay. As we have seasons every year, because you people now you are going into this horticulture and all. You might be knowing that this especially the life of and all is very much linked with the this outside bodies. For example, moon especially, it influences very much. In Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly said that the taste of any fruit, the taste of any vegetable, or the taste of any grain, it depends upon the influence of moon's rays, actually. Have you heard this any time before? You know that? In Bhagavad Gita and also in our Vedic scriptures, it is very clearly said that how the influence of sun acts and how the influence of moon acts. Sun rays are the basic thing for the development of the structure of or you have to say the body of a vegetable or the body of a fruit, or the outside, the external structure, whatever we see, that needs the sun rays. Okay. But the inside rasa, somo rasatmakam, it is said that rasa means the juice or the fruit or the essence or the taste of any fruit, it comes from the rays of moon. Okay. So yesterday, as our dear sir mentioned, yesterday was Ashwayuja Purnima. Generally in Vedic tradition, if someone has to commence something, they will wait for the Purnima. They consider that after Purnima, whatever that waning phase of moon is there, that is to be considered as auspicious. So maybe it is it's a coincidence, or I don't know, maybe it is providential that I have started this session today in our college. So today is Pajami, the first day of the waning moon. Very auspicious time it is now. So the topic I was requested to discuss is about the, you have that message, right? That message which we have, the topics from 13 to 19. Okay, you can bring my mobile. So ethical values, ethics and values in personal and academics. That is what the concept is. Hmm. Just once I will read what is the concept and I will go into the concept. Yeah. So I'm going to deal with the topics ethics and values in academic and personal life, defining ethics and values, ethical dilemmas in environmental stewardship, core values, integrity, responsibility, and accountability, impact of personal values on teamwork and leadership, etc. Okay. So I will be dealing with these things from the Indian traditional Vedic perspective. Okay. First thing, as you see here, what is the base for all ethical values? No, if you see the ethics and values, they differ from region to region. For example, if we have to speak about personal values or personal ethics or academic ethics or professional ethics or professional values, they are explained in a different way in various places. For example, in India, everyone knows that Indian civilization was the oldest civilization. No, the Vedic civilization is known as the oldest civilization. And we have various civilizations spread across the continent. Okay. If you go in US, the work ethic is completely different, or the personal ethics and values are completely different from Indian ethics and values. Now there is a what to say, a big prayatna is going on. No, a big endeavor is going on to have a globalized set of ethics and values. They want to have the same kind of ethics and values to be followed throughout the world. But if you see, especially from Indian background, we have a very high quality of ethics and values set for us. Okay. Interestingly, I will show you in the next slide. What is the base for all ethical and values, ethics and values that I want to discuss today? Okay. Because there will be some prerana behind everything. No, they call it as driving force or impetus behind everything. So it depends upon the driving force and impetus. If you see the culture of a country, no, if you see the civilization, or if you see the language, or the way they dress, the way they eat, the way of manners, no, the way of religion, the way of customs, the way of traditions, all these depend upon the consciousness of the ethics and values. Okay, what is the basic base for these ethics and values? So that's why I want to focus on this now. So in Ishopanishad, have you heard about Ishopanishad, or how many of you know what is an Upanishad actually? Upanishad. Have you heard this word, Upanishad? Upanishad means sitting closer to someone. So it's like a personal discussion between a teacher and a student, no, a guru and shishya. Okay, so master and disciple. So it's a discussion. So Ishopanishad is also called as Isavashopanishad. Okay, so the first mantra in Ishopanishad, this is the base for all our ethical values. Okay, what is that? You see there. Isavashyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagattena tyaktena bhunjita magradah kassis vidhanam. Okay, if you see the translation there, you see everything animate or inanimate. What is animate and what is inanimate? What do you mean by animate? What do you mean by animate? Yes, please. You can sit down and tell me. Living. Inanimate means, but actually that's not the meaning. Animate and inanimate means moving and non-moving. Please sit down. Thank you. So in according from Vedic perspective, we have a different understanding. No? So as per Vedic tradition, even the rocks have life. Okay. So that's why here it is explained that everything animate and inanimate, which moves and which doesn't move. Okay. That is within the universe. Whatever is there, everywhere. that is controlled and owned by the Lord. There is a supreme controller. First thing, this should be the basic of every ethics and values. But if you don't accept that there is a controller, that's why we see whatever the religion may be, throughout the world we have different religions, but everyone accepts that there is a supreme controller. You got the point? Whether it is Islam, whether it is Christianity, whether it is Jewish culture or whatever it is, everyone has to, in every civilized society, they accept that there is a supreme controller of everything. You got the point? So if you don't accept that there is a supreme controller of everything and he actually owns everything, there is no value of our so-called ethics and values. We have to understand this. We have to understand this basic truth that we are just custodians of whatever we have. We are not the owners. Because what happens when you don't accept that, when you think that we are the masters of whatever we survey, then we try to exploit everything. Yes or no? Right? When if we have our money in some, we have a bank account and we have some money in that. So we feel that is my money. So you can use it in a whatever way you like. No? But if you are answerable to someone, will you spend lavishly? For example, personally, we may not maintain an account. But if you are in a company or if you have a firm or if you are in a structure, then you are answerable to everyone. Yes or no? So why the importance of discussing ethics and values has become very important is that people are becoming more and more atheistic and people are becoming more and more godless. No, they think that there is no one in control. Everything is going on by its own. No, by chance, everything is going on. Because of this kind of way of thinking, no, the resultant ethics and values will be actually hollow, no actual meaning in that. Because they just speak ethics and values for namesake only, but everyone is independent to do whatever they like. That's what we see throughout the world. But if at all we want to start with something called discussing about ethics and values, then we have to understand that everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Okay, you may name him in a different way. Okay, you may call him as Ishvara, or you may call him as Allah, or you may call as Jehovah, because in various parts of the world they call him in a different way because he is supreme. So he can be called with various names. For example, sun. No, in Sanskrit we have the word Surya, we have Ravi, we have Banu. No, there are so many words. Arka, there are so many words. If you go to Western world, they may call it in a different way. But the fact is that there is sun. We cannot avoid the fact, right? We cannot ignore that there is sun. In the same way, we have to accept that there is a controller because we see a very perfect way this the whole nature works actually. Anyway, I will focus in the consequent slides about that. But first thing is that we have to understand that is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself. You see what a value it is explained here. You understand? It is said that nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to the supreme controller. Okay. And we have to accept only those things necessary for ourselves. Okay. Which are set aside as his quota. And one should not accept other things knowing well to whom they belong. You see, where do you find this kind of, that's why father of our nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, he stated once that, okay, if all the world literatures, no, somehow or other, if we lose all the world literatures, he says that if this one shloka survives, we can revive the whole culture, he told. You understand what is the importance of this shloka? He said like that. Okay, if there is some so-called inundation came or something happens to this world and everything, we have to lose all the books in all the libraries, whatever is there. But he says that if this one shloka is survived, if this one shloka survives, that's enough. Again, we can start a civilization, he told that. No? So it's a very powerful thing. If we understand this, no, then our whole life will change actually. So my discussion will further focus on this thing. So, but the bijam, no? The root is that, I mean, the seed is that we have to accept that Isa Vashyam idam sarvam. Vasham, in whose Vasham it is? It is in the Vasham of the controller. Ishvara means controller. Isha Vashyam idam sarvam, whatever is there, whatever is existing. Yatkincha jagatyam jagat, whatever you find in this creation, everything belongs to the Supreme Person. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Bhunjita means you can enjoy only which is allotted to you. Don't try to encroach on the other things. No, this gives a solution for all the environmental problems, all the ecological problems. No, because no, even in Bible it is said that man was given dominion over the other creatures. It is told that. But having dominion, having control over others means why? For example, the constitution gives a controlling power to the prime minister or ministers or local MLAs and all, right? So according to our Indian constitution, the constitution provides some power of, no, some power to individuals. Why power is given to someone? Tell me. To exploit it or to help others? What do you think? Someone becomes an IAS officer or IPS officer, so definitely he has a lot of power with him. So power is given so that it will be used in a beneficial way. No, power is never given to someone to exploit someone, right? In the same way, if we see, as per Padma Purana is one treatise of Vedic culture. In Padma Purana, it is explained that there are 84 lakh species of living entities. Still, the scientists are counting. They have not reached to the level of 84 lakhs. There are somewhere way far. But Vedic literature, Vedic culture, Vedic knowledge, it says that there are in total 84 lakh species. And they have no, given a clear count. No, they say that Jalaja Navalakshani. It says that Jala means water. It says that aquatics are of 9 lakh varieties. 9 lakh varieties of aquatics are there. Jalaja Navalakshani, Sthavarani Lakshavimshati. No, so which doesn't move. They are of 11, they are of Lakshavimshati, means 20 lakh varieties. You see, it says that there are 20 lakh varieties of plants, and even mountains are considered into that Sthavara. Sthavara means which doesn't move. So, do we have any count like how many species of plants are there? Some rough picture. Some of you can, maybe you can Google out later on. So, but in Vedic tradition, it is told that there are 20 lakh varieties of trees, plants, and mountains, because even mountains are considered as entities with life. Jalaja Navalakshani, Stavarani Lakshvimshati, Kremayo Rudra Sankyakaha. Rudra means here 11 lakh varieties of insects are there. All the microorganisms, everything falls under that. Kremayo Rudra Sankyakaha. Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. See, birds are of 10 lakh varieties. Trimsel Lakshani Pashavaha. 30 lakh varieties of animals are there. Okay, Chatur Lakshani Manavaha. And 4 lakh species of human beings are there. This is information we get from Vedic culture. So if you see, of the 84 lakh varieties, only these 4 lakh varieties of human beings, they are given with higher intelligence. Yes or no? We are given higher intelligence or not? Yeah, we have higher intelligence. And we have higher consciousness also. Right? We possess something which the other 80 lakh species don't contain. They don't have that. But we have attained this rare human form of life. Do you think human form of life is rare or nothing so important? What do you think? You may be considering that, okay, Indian population is now about 140 crores. What is so great about having a human form of life? Because everywhere in India, we see so much population everywhere. What do you think? Do you think human form is valuable or not? How many of you think? Nothing so important. Yes, please be interactive. No? So, all of you think that human form is very important or not? Important? Okay, why it is important? I want few suggestions from you. Why do you think human form of life is very important? Why? Because we can launch SpaceX satellite. Elon Musk recently, just 2 days, 3 days back. No, he wants to develop something called as space tourism. Right? So that's why human form of life is very important. What do you think? Anyway, we all know that human form of life is very important. For example, if you are driving a car, no, especially when we pass from Tadepulugudem to Nallajirla, we have a little like forest kind of atmosphere, so many monkeys and all. No? You see so many dogs and all moving here and there. Sometimes we see so many monkeys and donkeys thrashed by some lorries and all. So will someone arrest them for doing that? If some monkey got thrashed or some dog got thrashed, someone is going to arrest them? No. If the same thing happens with a human being, what happens? Why? Why such a inequality? No? Why such a difference? Why doesn't their life matters? Why do you think it is very important? Why it is punishable? No, if a human being is killed. Okay, I will give one more example. You will understand. See, we have so many politicians or some high officials. They will be going in a siren car. No, they will be having a security, everything like that. They will be going in a convoy. They say convoy, right? So if they have to pass through some area, they will stop the traffic and all, everything, right? Or if they have to visit some place, if they have to visit some a place of faith, if they have to visit some temple or something like that, okay, they will stop all the general public who are visiting that and they will give them way. Yes or no? Or if a chief minister or prime minister has to visit a different country, he can go through his own chartered plane, right? He will have a specific vehicle like that. Why so many facilities given to him? Why? Why not to everyone? Why only these people are given so many privileges? What is the reason? What do you think? What do you think? How they are different? Yes. See, for example, now when I entered into the class, all of you stood up, right? Because you were a dean sir and assistant dean sir, they have entered the class. So if some of your friends enter, will you stand up? No. Why? Why this? Why you are giving such respect to them? What is the reason? Because they are in a high position. What does the high position means? High position means higher responsibility. Will you accept that? Higher position means higher responsibility. Higher responsibility means higher conveyances. Why they were given special facilities? Because they have taken higher responsibility, right? The chief minister or prime minister, why they were given so many facilities? Because they have taken the responsibility of a country or a society. No? For example, if an MLA, member of legislative assembly, so he is responsible for the whole constituency. So he's taking responsibility. We are taking our own responsibility, or maybe we take the responsibility of a family which contains 2 or 3 members, right? Even if you see in the family, the father is given so much respect. Yes or no? Why? Because he takes the responsibility of the whole family. So whoever takes responsibility, obviously he will be given higher facilities. Accepted? You got this point? The same logic applies here. Why prime minister or any representative of the people, why he is given more facilities? Because he is responsible for the whole constituency, or he is responsible for lakhs of people. That's why he is given higher facilities. Now you apply the same logic to the human form of life. I will come to the same point again. I asked you, if a monkey is thrashed on the road, or if any other dog is thrashed or a cat is thrashed on a road, no, it gets smashed. No one is going to arrest. But if a human being is there in the same position, definitely so much inquiry is made. Why? Because human form of life has higher responsibility. Got this point? Because human form of life has higher responsibility, that's why he's given higher facilities. Higher facility in the form of higher intelligence. You got the point? So, because we have higher responsibility, higher intelligence, it doesn't mean that those who are weak, we have to exploit them. See, this is what is going on in the society now. Okay. Because why we have discussed these ethics and values? Because human being, as I told, okay, now the minister has given, like the chief minister, he got a special jet or a special jeep or something like that. It doesn't mean that he doesn't, his vehicle, when they drive the car, he can thrash anyone on the road. Can he do that? He can say, "Hey, I am chief minister. Who are you to ask me?" Can he do that? No. Why? Because you were given higher powers, because you have higher responsibility. It doesn't mean that you misutilize it. Okay. You should behave very more responsibility. That is the point here. That's why you see, even according to the Indian Penal Code, IPC, okay, if a normal person commits some mistake, there will be a different punishment. If the same uh, crime is committed by a responsible person who is in a responsible position, he will be given higher punishment. Are you aware of it? You know that? No? If something, someone who says chain snatchers, kind of, some people will be there. Okay. If a thief does that, okay, it is considered as a theft. But if a superintendent of police or if a police constable does the same theft, what happens? According to Indian Penal Code, he should be given higher punishment. Why? Because he's not an ordinary person, he's a responsible person. So when you misutilize your responsibility, when you misutilize the powers given to you, you will be punished by the laws of nature. You please try to understand that. That's why we say that in human form of life, we have higher responsibilities. Because we have higher responsibilities, we receive higher conveyances from the nature. Okay. But when we misutilize our responsibility, no, when we misutilize whatever the conveyances, whatever the facilities given to us, we will be punished by the laws of nature. Please try to understand. So that's why, so we have to understand that because we are human beings, we have higher intelligence, we can understand that nothing happens out of chance. It is not that out of chance everyone got into this class. There is a lot of process behind that. Yes or no? No? You have gone through the biology, physics, chemistry, all those courses. You have gone to some entrance test and all. Whoever got qualified, again, there is a system up to what level, what is the cutoff mark. All these things were done, and later on counseling was done. There is a lot of process. Not that someone is going on the road and our dean or someone is pulling you from the road and keeping you in the class. Is it like that? No. So nothing happens out of chance. Please try to understand that. So that's why the Vedic system of ethics start from recognizing the fact that everything animate and inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Everything remains as it is. We come for some time here, we use something, and we claim the proprietorship for some time, and again we leave this place, and someone will come. Again, this place is like the same thing. They will come and they claim their proprietorship. They will leave and someone again come. This is what happens. It's a fact, yes or no? This has nothing to do with any religion and all. Do you think this has something to do with religion? No. It's a fact. So nothing, we are not the owners. No, we are not the controllers here. So we have to accept that there is a Supreme Lord who owns the whole universe. So into these points, I will delve into little more. Okay. So we have to accept only things necessary for himself. Whatever nature allocates as food for one form of life, they have to take that only as food. If they take something as food, as something which is allotted to something different species of life, then we will be diseased. Why people are getting so many diseases? Because we are eating so much non-eatable things nowadays. So we have to understand this philosophy, and we should not accept other things knowing well to whom they belong. Okay. So this is the base for all ethical values. Okay. So now we will go start with the session today. Yeah. So what is the time I have to maybe? Okay, fine. Maybe this is causing some disturbance. Okay, then better you switch off. I will use this mic. Better. So, ఇక్కడికి వస్తుందా అది? వీడియో మీకు ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. So, whatever topics are mentioned in this Deeksharamb, no, regarding this personal, academic, or professional ethics. So, all these subjects will be dealt in the series of presentations here. So, today we will go through the first one. Yeah. So, this session is named as Discover Yourself. Okay. Because the point is, if we don't know about ourselves, but if you know about everything that is there in this world, there is of no use actually. Got the point? So we may amass a lot of knowledge, no, current affairs, no. Nowadays we are living in the age of social media. Whatever happens in any corner of the world, immediately it is broadcasted toward the world, right? Everything which happens everywhere, it's coming out nowadays. So we are living in such a age. So we can spend 24 hours of day, no, in amassing the knowledge or regarding whatever is happening throughout the world. But unfortunately, if we don't spend time in understanding about ourselves, first of all, no, then we have lost everything. But if a person, if he understands himself, but he may not be aware of whatever is happening throughout the world, that's not a big loss actually, because at least he understood himself. So that's why we have to discover ourselves first of all. Okay. Then everything falls in line. The ethics, the values, the way we communicate, no, everything comes into that. So we go through that. As we have discussed in the previous shloka, Isa Vashamidam Sarvam, it is mentioned that everything animate and inanimate within the creation belongs to the Supreme Lord. Lord means, what do you mean, Lord? Lording over something, we say, right? For example, during the British rule, they used to have Lord Macaulay, no, or Lord Mountbatten. Have you heard these words? No, even British officers were called Lord. So what do you mean by Lord? What does the word convey? Lord means a person who is in control. Yes or no? Got this point? A person who is in control. Now, the issue which we are going to discuss is whether really there is someone who is lording this universe, whether there is someone who is controlling this universe. Because the basic fallacy is that we ignore, no, to discuss about this point, that we are being controlled and we are not the controllers. This thing we have to understand. For example, take our own human body. Okay. If you take our human body, our heart is always beating, every second it is, throbbing. Our heart is throbbing, right? So are we consciously doing that? Are we consciously grabbing our heart every moment and just pressing it like that? What do you say? You are hearing the session now. You have nothing to do about, you are not even conscious that your heart is beating, right? But it is happening. If something is happening, there should be some mechanism behind it, or there should be some controller behind that. Or for example, our lungs, no? So we may be doing various things. I am speaking so much, you are hearing, or someone is sleeping, something like that. So, but the process of taking, this going on, right? Exhaling and inhaling is going on. Are you doing it consciously? Please tell me. Are you doing that consciously, or it is happening unconsciously? It is happening without your consciousness, right? In the same way, you take some food. So the food enters the stomach. So are you consciously digesting your food? I mean, after eating food every day, after taking your breakfast or lunch or dinner, are you sitting for half an hour or 1 hour and meditating on the digestive system? Okay, now curd has come here, or now some laddu has come here. No, I have to digest it. Are you doing something like that? No. These things are happening on their own, right? But actually nothing happens on their own. That is the thing which we are going to discuss in this session. Okay, because when you understand that there is a supreme controller behind everything, and there is a mechanism which is running everything, and we are also part of that mechanism, and we are also being controlled, that will solve many problems which the society is facing today. Okay, all the ethical issues will be solved, all the social problems will be solved, all the values related things will be solved. No, all the anarchy, all the hullabaloo toward the world, whatever is happening, everything will be sorted out. Okay, so we'll see. The first session is the mastermind behind the mysterious universe. Do you think this universe is mysterious? What do you say? Huh? Definitely, this world is very mysterious, right? By observing the world around us scientifically, we can see the hand of a supreme intelligent designer. Definitely. What do you say? We will see. We will take up few examples, right? If you observe the world around us, for example, early in the morning, before sunrise, you see, if you face towards the east, you can see a colorful sky actually. Yellow, red, orange, pink, so many colors. Wonderful, that golden hue you can find in the sky. No? So it's like a wonderful painting. No, all these natural things which we see, they actually inspire the artist, right? No, if someone has to paint a rose, where does the inspiration comes from? Where does the inspiration comes from? A natural rose, right? In the same way, if you observe the world around us scientifically, we can see the hand of a supreme intelligent designer. So we will see according to our observation and what is the scientist's observation. No, and we have an activity, $2 million questions we say. And we will have some activity time here, and we will understand what is our prime duty. And having understood that there is a mastermind behind the mysterious universe, so what is our prime duty now? These things we will try to understand, focus in this session. Okay. Now, so coming to initially our observation. So who creates and maintains this beautiful and harmonious universe? What do you say? What are your answers? Yes. What immediately comes to your mind? If I ask a question that who creates and maintains this beautiful and harmonious universe, what comes to your mind? Okay.
Brain.
If you see a wonderful art, what question comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Who is the artist? Yes or no? Right? If you see a wonderful song, for example, if you hear some wonderful song or some beautiful music, immediately what question comes to your mind? Who is the singer, or who is the composer? Who is the artist? Or if you take something very wonderful item, if you eat, of course, nowadays no one questions because no one is actually cooking by themselves. Everyone is eating outside nowadays. But actually the question has to come that who cooked this, right? The same way, if you see a wonderful art, the question should come that who is the artist? It's a natural, right? If you see a beautiful organization, the question comes, who is the organizer? For example, this university is there here, YSR Horticultural University is there. Is there any organizer behind this? There, right? There is a structure, there is a hierarchy here. Definitely. In the same way, when we see creation, there should be a creator behind that. Is it common sense or not? This has something to do with any religion, something like that? No, it's a common sense thing. When you see an art, you'll question about who is the artist. When you see a beautiful organization, you'll ask about who is the organizer. In the same way, then the creation should have a creator. How can you deny that? When you accept that there is an artist, there is an organizer, how do you deny that there is a creator? There should be a creator for sure. And if you see a wonderful design, no, you take something, for example, this remote control here. So Blue Star is the designer, right? Everything has a designer here. You take this remote. Who is this? ATDSC. I don't know what is this. He is the designer. You take this mouse. Dell is the designer. Everything has a designer. No? So if you speak of energy, there should be an energetic source. For example, there is a light here. So when you switch on, the whole room will be brightened, right? So the light is coming from a source. So what is the energetic source here? This bulb is the energetic source. So everything has a source that we have to understand. And when you speak about laws, we think who is the lawmaker, right? We have this Indian constitution. Is there any person behind that? We have a person or not? Yes. So this is a common sense observation. That's why it is named as our observation. In our observation, behind every art, there is an artist. Behind every beautiful organization, there is an organizer. Behind every creation, there is a creator. Behind every design, there is a designer. Behind energy, there is an energetic person. And behind the laws, there are lawmakers. For example, what are the timings of this college? At what time the classes start? Early in the morning? 8:15, 9:15. Okay. So is it something like randomly everyone is coming and sitting in the class by 9:15 or some law is there? There is some rule? So who set the rule? You on your own consensus, you discuss on the first day because Deekhsharamb is going on now. And do you think that our dean will be giving you a chance? Okay, you students, please sit and discuss and you come out with a solution. You decide what is the timing of the college from tomorrow. Is it done like that? No. A person will decide, right? So if you speak about a law, there is a lawmaker behind that. Okay. This is from our observation, right? See, this is a art. These are all, you can see there are various kinds of arts here. So these are not natural scenarios here, but if you see, they're all arts. So they're all famous paintings actually. So the artist is Vincent van Gogh. This is Van Gerard, Thomas Sanchez, and Henry Rousseau. These are the artists behind that art. Okay. But this is not an art. What is this? This is a real scenery, right? So for the art, there is an artist. We accept that. But do you think these natural scenes also should have someone behind them? By logic, by common sense, right? So who is that? No. So this is world famous Niagara Falls. No. So many people, they go to visit this, Niagara Falls, because they know that it's a very wonderful, scenery, no? So who is the artist behind all these things? There should be definitely someone. Now, for example, you see this lotus, no? This should be appealing to you because you're all horticulture students. This is a time-lapse video. Yeah, so who is the artist? No? So to make an artificial rose, sometimes we see during some people, they have this hobby of making so many designs. So if you have to make an artificial rose, what do you need? You need some paper, color paper, a scissor, no, some glue. No, there should be a person, right? So then it comes. No, okay, now I will get some color paper. I will have glue. I will keep a scissor on the table. So does they combine on their own to become a paper, to become a rose? So what is needed? What is needed? Person is needed. This is common sense, right? Without a person, they cannot combine on their own and they can manufacture some beautiful rose flower. It's not like that. No, there is this person. So what to speak of the flowers in nature with their delicateness, biological complexity, fragrance, and their shapes and forms. Got the point now? If we have to prepare a artificial rose, we need color paper, we need glue, we need scissors, and we need a person to do that. Then what to speak about natural flowers? You see how, if you see a rose, how delicate it is. No? And you see the biological complexity. You know something called as Fibonacci series? Have you heard about that? Fibonacci series. So to explain the pattern of the petals in a rose, if you see a rose, do you see a pattern there? Or if you see a papaya tree, for example, from the top, do you see a pattern there? How the leaves are arranged? Sir, no. Does they come randomly? No. We see pakka, there is a pattern going on there. So delicateness, biological complexity, fragrance, you see. If you do something artificially, it doesn't have any fragrance. No? And a very good shape and form. See, all these things are there. So what do you think? Without anything, all these things are going on? No, right? Yeah. So when you speak of art, then there's slides move out. Oh. It's okay. Yeah. So artistry means there should be an artist behind that. So that is the point here. Still there is a problem? Okay. Yes. Okay. What do you see there? Because we have seen various examples, no? Art we have seen. Now we will see about organization. No?
Bees are called social insects because they live and work together as a community. Thousands of female bees, called worker bees, live together in a hive with a queen bee. The queen bee was marked with a red dot, so we can see her better. The worker bees are all females, but they almost never lay eggs. Worker bees do almost all the chores in the hive. They gather pollen or nectar, guard the entrance, clean the hive, build the comb, make honey, tend the queen, and feed the larvae. They even fan the hive with their wings to keep it cool on a hot summer day.
Okay. So it's a beautiful, it's an example of organization. Okay. If you see a honeycomb, there are various departments, there are various departments of honeybees actually. So this everything is supervised by a queen bee. Okay. And there are bees which go and collect the honey, which protect the honeycomb, and which keeps the temperature at a level, you see. Even for a small honeycomb, there is so much of organization there. No? So this is an example for that. Yeah. Or you see a termite hill, for example.
Termites live in colonies made up of millions of individuals. Together so harmoniously that the whole colony functions like a single body, a single creature. These are worker termites. They are blind and deaf. And you can see they mix pieces of earth with a special plaster and widen the walls of their nest. Given these creatures, which behave like the cell with a single body, different structures for different jobs. Workers are born with the necessary tools for construction on their bodies. So,
24, 25 అంటే ఇవాళ తేదీ ఎంత? 18 అయితే 20 సంబంధం.
grow fungi in storeroom
24, 25 అంటే ఉంటుంది సరే, అంటే ఉంటే ఊరికి పోయి ఏం చేస్తాం కదా. ఈరోజు ఏమన్నా లేదు, ఆయన సండే వస్తాను. రీచ్ బై సండే మార్నింగ్ చెప్పినట్టు. I am reaching on Sunday morning. I am here.
Okay. So, see, it's an example of organization. Just go somewhere. I think you have a very big place here. Definitely, there will be some termite hill somewhere. You just go and check how they are working, in such a very wonderful, organized way. Immediately, if you just remove a small bit of that, immediately within some time, again they will build it up again. Very like their information is very fast actually. If you take the honeycomb or any termite hill, whatever happens in any corner, the information will reach. Immediately they will respond to that. No? Yeah. And you see this.
Imitation spiders. Compared to their own sizes, spiders build very large webs.
Yeah. They're very good mathematicians. Spiders.
Mathematician spiders. Compared to their own sizes, spiders build very large webs. Indeed, if we enlarged a spider to the size of a human being, the web it weaves would be approximately 150 meters. To a 50-story skyscraper. Is it possible for a human being to weave a waistcoat the size of a 50-story skyscraper in only an hour? The tiny spider accomplishes much more than that. No, the spider woven web is the sturdiest material in the world. How do spiders weave these webs possessing miraculous features? The spider takes into consideration many factors while weaving a web, hundreds of times larger than its own size. This task demands at least some calculations, essentially constructing a building. For the accomplishment of this work, first the spider must draw a project like an architect, for construction. Size, design, and sturdiness cannot be accomplished without an architectural project. Once the project is drawn, the spider must calculate the lifting capacity of each part of the web like an engineer. Otherwise, the web cannot remain suspended. In order to design such a web and make such delicate calculations, the spider must be more qualified than a college graduate. There is not a university that provides education to the offspring. Follow their birth and begin to produce silk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the material which comes from the saliva of a spider is the lightest and strongest material. No, there is like the scientists, they try to imitate that material. They are successful to a very little extent. With that, they prepare some bulletproof shields actually. No, something called a caverall something. I don't exactly remember that. But they're not successful to do it in the same quality which a spider does. And it is said that from the saliva of a single spider, you can 3 times, it can twine the whole earth actually. You see, right? All these things are mentioned. Okay. And also an example like silkworm, that is also an example. And you can also see this particular kind of animals. They're also very, very good at building boundaries actually. No.
Sure. The beaver is amazing because it's an engineer. They build their beaver dam.
They're very good builders. They build dams actually.
They build their beaver dams with engineering skill. As a matter of fact, engineers study beaver dams to see how to build strength into a dam and to see how to channel water. It's like the beaver knows all this. And so our engineers go to college and then they study what the beaver. It's like the brain surgeons studying the woodpecker. It's like God gave us examples of creation of how to do things right. Well, anyway, a beaver builds his house, and he usually has a couple of entrances coming in under the water, and he makes his house in such a way that the bad gases build up in there and escape. Oxygen can come in, but he builds it in such a way that it will stay dry in there. And so they can have little baby beavers in there, and they have a nice, dry, clean place to be. He will store food in the bottom of the stream or the river, and that means he has to be underwater frequently. Well, in the winter, where most beavers live, it gets very cold. Has God made a provision for that? Oh, yes, he sure has. A beaver goes underwater. He has like transparent eyelids, water goggles. And he can see through his eyelids under the water. And that's to keep the dirt out of his eyes that's floating around. He has nose flaps that close, keeps the water out of his nose. Ear flaps that close, keeps the water out of his ears. Like he has fur-lined flaps in the back of his
Yeah, you understood the point here.
molars, his teeth in the back. Now, his front teeth, they must be sensitive because those are the ones that he uses to chew down and chew through the trees. And they wear down and they keep growing, and he'll wear them off. They keep growing. And so they must not be sensitive, but his back teeth are. And so God made him little fur-lined flaps to protect them from the cold ice water in the wintertime. And then you think about the way a beaver swims, and he can take a branch.
So we have seen here various example how there are artists in this nature, and we see good organizers and good builders. See, all these things are happening. You just observe around you, the whole atmosphere if you see. So beautiful organization means there should be an organizer. Like sometimes we see early morning when we move into the woods, we see a big cobweb actually. If you don't see, it will just catch your face like this. So you can see how wonderful it is when the light passes through that cobweb. You can see how interesting the design is. No? So it is there in this nature. So likewise, we see wonderful things created by a man. No? So now we have seen natural examples up to now. Now what man has created? No, sleek cars. No, so someone manufactured it or just it came out of accident. What do you say? There is a manufacturer, right? Yeah, there are trendy computers. No, I think we didn't update the picture actually. Nowadays there are so very sleek computers also. So someone assembled it. There is no doubt. No, and elegant watches. Someone designed it. There is no doubt. No, and architectural marvels. Someone erected it. Is there any doubt regarding that? Someone erected it, or just during some heavy rain there is some thunderbolt and immediately you saw that Eiffel Tower came into existence? No, nothing like that. No. You see these towers, skyscraper buildings. So someone built it. No. The same way, wonderful sculptures. Someone sculptured it, right? Someone carved it. Right? So shouldn't this universe have a super intelligent creator too? From all these observations, what do you say? What does your intelligence say? Definitely there should be a person, an intelligent creator too. No? So creation means there should be a creator. That is the point here. You see this. These are seeds of a tree. No, you see the size of the seeds here. The scale is there. You can tell me what is their radius and what is the length and breadth. How small they are. No? In such a small seed, no, when it grows into the largest tree actually. You see. No? Such a very tall tree, it comes from such a minute seed, which you have seen the measurement here. No? See, this is the condition. You can just imagine. The world's largest tree is giant sequoia. It's 84 meters, 275 feet high, and 29 meters in diameter at the trunk. See. No? But what is the, see, comparatively, what is the size? The height of a space shuttle, giant sequoia, and a human being. Where is human being? You see. Can you see the human being there? The blue whale, Statue of Liberty, and the Brachiosaurus, you see. No? But a big tree, the seeds which I have shown you, no? Those seeds belong to this tree. Now tell me, is it possible for you to manufacture something like that? What do you say? Is it possible? No. So definitely there is a supreme intelligence behind all these things which we have seen, that we have to understand. And again, now if we have to speak about the supercomputer, no? Again, I have to share a video. It's a botheration, I think, no? Again and again. Or maybe I can skip the video, but maybe we have to sit here somewhere. Sorry, just. Yeah. Oh, first click on the first. Sorry. Wait. Okay, you see. Yeah, what is the super computer? Which is a supercomputer? Tell me. The human brain or? Huh? What do you think? We have so many processors, right? Intel processor. It's very popular processor. Intel Z2460. Okay. But when you compare it with the human mind, the human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world, you see. No? Nowadays, we are speaking about artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence. What do you mean by artificial intelligence? So we are collecting the ideas of various people and we are putting it into an artificial memory. No, that is called as artificial intelligence. But if you see, the human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world. That is the point here. Okay. Let's go down to the micro world. Now we have seen the macro world. You know what is macro world, right? Whatever we see externally. Now, if we have to go into the micro world, you see how infinite it is. The macro world is infinite, and again, the micro world is also like that. No? See, the DNA, the molecule of life. You have to teach me all these things because, of course, I am also from BPC when I did my +2. But anyway, you are fresh from the college, so you can explain me all these things. I think you appreciate this because you understand all these things. DNA, the molecule of life. Each cell contains 46 human chromosomes, 2 meters of DNA. We are telling it is 2 meters, but where 2 meters? In the micro world, not in the macro world. You see, 3 billion DNA subunits, approximately 30,000 genes codes for proteins that perform most the functions. You understand this better? No? Yeah, lattice structure. You are aware of this? Bravest lattice structure. Have you heard about this? All these things? Yeah. So see how many structures are there? Body centered tetragonal, no, simple cubic, body centered cubic, face centered cubic, simple, no, orthorhombic, no, base centered orthorhombic. These are all, do we see in this external world? No, you see inside these are all cellular structures, right? Base centered monoclinic, face centered orthorhombic, triclinic, simple tetragonal, body centered tetragonal, hexagonal, no, rhombohedral, no. See, if you see the graphite, slight molecular change, if some slight molecular change happens in graphite, it turns into diamond. Yes or no? Yes. So this is in the micro world, you see. If you alter a small thing, what changes happens? No? Now, if you come to this universe,
The Earth rotates around its axis once a day. Once a day. The tilt of the axis affects when seasons occur. When the axis tilts toward the sun, the northern hemisphere experiences summer, while the southern hemisphere experiences winter. In half a year, the Earth will revolve elliptically counterclockwise around the sun, while the axis stays tilted at 23.5 degrees. When the axis tilts away from the sun, the northern hemisphere then experiences winter, and the southern hemisphere experiences summer.
so now I am speaking about this macro world. No, we have seen both the micro world and macro world. Yeah. So this is something called as Fibonacci series. Video is not available. Okay, anyway. So how many of you have heard about this Fibonacci series? This is the, see, this is described by a person called Fibonacci. Okay. He studied the patterns in the nature, actually. If you see a pineapple, for example, if you see a pineapple, no, that spines will be in an order, right? If you take a lotus, for example, the petals are arranged in a pattern. If you take a rose, there is a pattern. Or there is a pattern how the leaves comes. Or there is a pattern in the fruit. Everywhere there is a pattern. So they are following a fixed principle. Nothing is happening out of chance. That is what is described as Fibonacci. Yeah. Now you see the satellites. No? If you have to run a satellite successfully around the Earth, how much monitoring is happening there? we see, let us see what are the parameters to be monitored. 24 hours round the clock monitoring should be there. Yes or no? There are some space stations. We have something in Sriharikota, and again we have something in Kerala. And again, there are various monitoring units actually. If a satellite has to run around the earth, then 24 hours round the clock monitoring is required. So what are the critical parameters to monitor? Its orientation, how the satellite is moving, that orientation is very important. And what is the spin? What is the velocity? Orbit decay corrections. If something happens and if there is a delay, again, they have to correct it. These things are there. And cosmic radiation has to be taken into consideration. And heat dissipation, when it travels, some heat is generated. How to dissipate it? And Earth satellite distance shouldn't change. Something like that. It should be fixed. Okay. So satellite control room. See, this is a typical satellite control room. So many people working round the clock, night shift, day shift. So many shifts they are working to make sure that one satellite runs in the orbit. Okay. So all these parameters are being calculated here. Now, what about Earth? See, the human man-made satellite, which is sent into the space, how much weight it should be? They make sure that it will be very lightweight actually. No, for such a small satellite, if it has to run successfully and serve the purpose, so many parameters has to be taken care. Now, let us see the natural universe. What is the mass of Earth here? 6 into 10 to the power of 21 metric tons. You see, that is the weight of Earth. No? Now, you see, if Earth has to revolve around the sun, how many parameters are there here? As we have seen in the case of a artificial satellite, man-made satellite, here photons, incoming solar wind particles, polar cusp, plasma sphere, atmosphere, magneto health. See, so many things are there, which affects. And speed around the sun. I don't know how many of you know this. The speed of Earth around the sun is 106,000 kilometers per hour. You know that? Actually, we are moving in that speed, but we don't realize it. Do we feel like that? Do we feel moving now? No. But actual fact is, we are moving at a speed of 106,000 kilometers per hour around the sun, you see. No? Now tell me, who is the controller? NASA is controlling? Or ISRO is controlling? Or you say no one is controlling? What do you say? Yeah, I need your answer. Or do you think someone is controlling? Okay, we may not know the name at least. Do you think someone is controlling? If someone says no, then that's not common sense. Because this is a very typical example. No, just a man-made satellite. If you want to make it run and serve your purpose, so many people are working day and night, so many parameters to be monitored. Then what about, I am speaking only about Earth. What about the other planets? We never hear in the newspaper that Earth collided with some other planet. If it really happens, we don't exist to hear that news actually. Do you hear any news like that? Pluto collided with Uranus, or Jupiter collided with Saturn sometimes, or there is some slight rubbing, something like that? No, we never hear all those things. Pakka, everything is going on. No? Do you think there is no controller behind that? It doesn't make any sense if you say that there is no controller. That's why I'm telling, we have to accept that we are being controlled. Okay. So who is in controller? No? NASA is not controlling it. No? Okay, another example. If traffic policeman controls the signal of traffic. So we have traffic signals, right? We have so many sophisticated systems. Now we have speedometers and all these things. But still there are accidents. Yes or no? Accidents are there or not? You see in big metros, so much traffic jam, so much control, so many fines, so many secret cameras, surveillance cameras. Still there are so many accidents. Yes or no? Yes. No? If traffic policeman controls the signal of traffic, who controls the traffic of revolving planets? Tell me. What will be the weight of your motorcycle or car or lorry? How many tons it would be, or how many quintals? A motorcycle maybe 150 kilos? What do you say? But you see here, the mass of Earth we have seen, no? And Earth is only one of the planets. There are so many planets which are bigger and heavier than Earth. And they are moving at a what velocity they are moving. You just see what is the speed of Earth around the sun. 106,000 kilometers. Can you imagine that? No, but we never hear about any accidents. Do you think all these things are just chalta hai? No, just going on its own? No. Any intelligent person has to accept that there is a controller. So design means there should be a designer. That we have to understand. Okay. So see, if you see about sun, how much heat is being dissipated? What is the distance between Earth? You see, the whole planet's there. Because I'm speaking about the traffic here. I'm speaking about the cosmic traffic. No? If you see the cosmic traffic, Jupiter, what is the size of Jupiter? Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and where is the Earth? Again, there is Venus, Mars, Mercury, Pluto, you see. All these things are there. No? In 1 second, our sun produces enough energy to meet the current needs of the entire Earth for 5 lakh years. Can you imagine that? That's why, no, our Honorable Prime Minister, he wants to bring this, he wants to make this solar, he wants to capture the solar energy. Because, see, this is the fact. In 1 second, our sun produces enough energy to meet the current needs of the entire Earth for 5 lakh years. But we don't have the means to capture that. Do we have the means to capture that? No. That is the point. So you just see, it is not. So who designed all these things? So every second, 600 million tons of protons are converted into helium atoms in the sun to be released as energy. How pakka the process is going on. Humankind only needs on average about 1 by 10,000 that amount of energy for its total consumption. Total consumption. I'm speaking about the whole continent. You see how much energy is coming up. Amount of solar energy every square meter of Earth's surface receives over the course of a 24-hour day is 164 watts. Imagine a 150-watt table lamp on every square meter of Earth's surface. You understand this example? Those who can understand, they can appreciate this. That much energy is coming. Huh? The reaction taking place in sun is nuclear fusion, same as a hydrogen bomb. See. Huh? So energy means energetic, right? So there should be an energetic person. For example, we are enjoying here electricity now. Do you think this electricity is coming from nowhere? Is there any controller or not? Yeah, this is coming from a transformer. The transformer is connected to the local substation, electric station. And in the electric station, there sits an electrical engineer. Okay. He decides where to send, how much voltage to send. He decides everything. Right? So look at the world around you. No? See, your college starts at 9:15 a.m. Something. Who made this law? We have discussed this. Who made this law? A person? A person made this law. The principal or dean or whatever you say. No? Or when we speak about traffic rules. In India, we have to keep left. No? In the US, we have to keep right. Right? So who made this law? In that particular country, there should be a person or there's a team of people sitting there. So Indian traffic police, they made this law to keep left, and American traffic police made this law to keep right. Okay. Even if you take cricket, for example, how many overs in a one-day international match? Generally, it should be 50, right? But now again, there is 20, so many versions came, right? How many players in one team? 11. So who decided all these things? Some people, right? Some persons decided all these things. How many ways a batsman can be out? No? There is something called as LBW, leg before, what is that? Leg before wicket, or bowled, or catch, no? Stump. So many things are there. So who made these rules? ICC or something, International Cricket Council made these laws. We take the example of periodic table of elements. How many elements are there? How many? Okay. We say periodic table of the elements. No? Chemical elements arrangement is the periodic law and not the periodic chance. You got the point? When we tell that this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, is there any law behind arranging them in that way? What do you say? Yes, it's not something like random. Okay, whatever you say. No, when we learn this in school, teacher asks us, okay, tell me what are the elements. Sometimes children, they say the 10th one first and 5th one second and 4th one. Then teacher, no, this is not the way. There is a sequence. No, so behind the sequence there is a periodic law, but it's not periodic chance. Please try to understand. No, yeah. What is this? What is this? Law of gravitation. No, who described about this? Newton's law of gravitation. Of course, Newton didn't invent this. Okay, this is there in the nature, but he explained about that. Okay, so there is so much explanation why an apple falls, or when you kick a ball, why it makes a parabola. Okay, they explain that, okay, there is gravity acting in that, air resistance, no, from top and from bottom, and again gravity pulls it, then the path of ball with air resistance and gravity, then it becomes a parabola. All these things are explained, right? These are all laws of physics. Okay, so for example, one more physical theory, mirror. No, Vibgyor, you know this Vibgyor effect, right? How many colors come through a prism when you throw a light? 7 colors come. No, the prism effect is there. The virtual image observed by refraction, all these things are there. These are all law of optics. Okay. Yeah. And these are thermodynamics. You see, so many laws are there. Again, laws of thermodynamics, how heat is dissipated. So if you see in the micro world and also in the macro world, we see that precise laws of mathematical accuracy govern this world. Yes or no? Precise laws of mathematical accuracy govern this world. There is no doubt about it. Yes. So these are all flawless laws. Are they like the laws of a country? No. If you commit a murder, if you commit a crime, and you can somehow get through the law system because there are so many loopholes in the system, right? If you go and approach a good lawyer, if you pay him, whatever you do, you can escape from that. But the laws of nature are not like that. Laws of nature are flawless. You cannot cheat the laws of nature. You can cheat the man-made law system. No, you can cheat the law-made judiciary system, but you cannot cheat the laws of nature. That is the point, because there is a perfect lawmaker behind them. No one can cheat. Right? So we see various kinds of people, see beautiful people, we see ugly people, handsome, no, not handsome, stinking rich, very rich, born with a silver spoon, they say. Right? Poverty striken. So many people are there. Someone is an MD, doctor, and someone is a laborer. Okay, who decides all these things? Why so many anomalies? Why so many differences? Is there any rule behind this? Because we see that whatever happens in this nature, there is a rule behind everything. That's what we have discussed, right? Is it or not? So applying the same logic here, why there are so many differences between us? Why someone is female? Why someone is male? Why someone is tall? Why someone is short? No, why all these differences? Is it something like just randomly it is going on? Who decides all these things? No? Who choose? No, education. Who chooses education? Job, husband or wife, car, no, apartment. No, these all we choose it, right? What kind of education we want, we choose. What kind of car we want, we choose. What kind of wife or husband we want, we choose. What kind of job we want, we choose. All these things can be chosen, but we don't choose our parents. Do we choose our parents? No. No. It takes maybe 4 or 5 years after you take birth to understand what kind of mother and father you have. No, we don't choose our parents. We don't choose our face cut. Do we choose our face cut? No. One is oval, long, round, square, heart, diamond, so many kinds of face shapes are there. And we don't choose our intelligence also. Right? Some are naturally intelligent, we say. Some are naturally dull. Then who chooses and on what basis? Okay. Is it by chance? because there is no point of chance here, because it is already shown that in the world of matter, physics, chemistry, thermodynamics, etc., follow definite, well-defined laws. No, a scientist will never accept that if you say why it is like this. If you bring a rock to the scientist and say, sir, why this rock is like that, he'll give an explanation. He says that, say, some millions of years ago, there was a big volcano, there was a volcano burst and there is lava coming outside. After the volcano erupted, for some thousands of years, there was a heavy rainfall. Because of rainfall, this lava became stratified. And over the years, there is some thunderbolt and it became pieces. Now, this is the story of the stone in your hand. That's what he says. Right? So, if there are laws governing everything in this world, physics, chemistry, thermodynamics, everything, then what about these things? How then can our birth, beauty, intelligence only a random events? This is my question. See, you got the point here? For everything you say that there is someone behind that, but how do you say that there is no criteria regarding our birth, beauty, intelligence? All these things are random events. How do you say? These cannot be random events, right? So it is explained in Bhagavatam about this law of karma. Karmana daiva netrena jantur dehopapattaye striyah pravishta udaram pumsuretah kanashrayah. It is explained that. It said that so based on our previous activity, the living entities, they take shelter of various kinds of species and they take birth. This is what is explained that. So it happens under the supervision of a supreme person. Okay. And these are all flawless laws. So flawless laws indicate that there is a lawmaker behind them. That we have to understand. Right? This is our observation. Now, let us go to the scientist's observation. Until now, what we have discussed is our general observation. Okay. Now, what scientist has to say? What do they say? Let us So, does our discussion make any sense to you? Yes? Because, yes. Albert Einstein, yeah. Now, what I am telling is, are you able to follow what we are discussing? No? Until now, whatever is done, that is through our general observation. But generally, we don't believe anything unless we quote a scientist. Right? So let us see what are the observations of scientists. So the most renowned scientist, who is that? Albert Einstein. He says that there is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws. This is a statement of Einstein. Who is this? Yeah. Erwin Schrödinger, Nobel laureate physicist. See, what does he say? If you have patience, you can read once. I am very astonished that the scientific picture of the real world around me is very deficient. He says that whatever the science gives some explanation about whatever is happening, that is very deficient, he says. It gives a lot of factual information, puts all our experience in a magnificently consistent order, but it is ghastly silent about all the sundry that is really near to our heart, that really matters to us. It cannot tell us a word about red and blue, bitter and sweet, physical pain and physical delight. It knows nothing of beautiful and ugly, good or bad, God and eternity. science sometimes pretends to answer questions in these domains, but the answers are very often so silly that we are not inclined to take them seriously. See, this is what is said by Erwin Schrödinger. He's a Nobel laureate in physics. He's not a normal person, not an ordinary fellow, no? Yeah. Kelvin is very popular. So Kelvin is related to which area he is known? Kelvin's recording related to what? Heat, yes, heat dissipation. So Kelvin says that if you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science to believe in God. You take the statement from him. What he said? If you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science to believe in God. Okay, there is an interesting, some people, they explain it like as a acronym. You know what is an acronym, right? God, God, generator, operator, and destructor. You know that? God, God, generator, operator, and destructor. It's an acronym. No? Yeah. So this is what Kelvin says. Isaac Newton. You know the story of Isaac Newton? It's very interesting. I will tell you. Isaac Newton, he had a very close friend. These two friends, they used to always discuss. But whenever the discussion comes about that there is some supreme designer, there is supreme creator, supreme artist, there is a supreme person who is controlling this nature, the other friend used to say, Are, I don't believe all these things. He used to say, no, everything just came out of like that. No, just like they say, Big Bang Theory. You know Big Bang Theory? You know Big Bang Theory, right? What do they say? Big Bang Theory means there is a big blast, right? And everything came out of it. So when we are in childhood, when we are reading in the school, everyone is they will by heart that, and because they have to answer in the paper, everything like that. But I will tell you how Big Bang Theory works. Okay, now you take a printing press. If you want to make a book, you need paper, you need ink, you need binding material, right? You need some thread, everything is there. You place everything in a room. And what I will do is, I will release some gas cylinder and I will put some fire. Then what happens? A big blast will come. No? Or some electric circuit happened in a printing press. Do you think that out of electric short circuit or some blast, some Oxford dictionary will fall out of the printing press? Got the point? Can an Oxford dictionary be a result of an accident in a printing press? Why I'm quoting Oxford dictionary? Because Oxford dictionary is very complex, right? There are so many, what is subject, what is noun, what is the history of each and every word, no? From which language this word is taken. All those things are explained there. Okay. So to make such a wonderful dictionary, do you think it came out of accident? But that's what Big Bang Theory says. It says that all the variety in this world, whatever you see, these 84 lakhs of species, so much beautiful, all these things, it came just out of a big bang. That's what we do. It is like, you see, when a big lorry and a car, no, they will collide with each other. And what do you say? Nowadays there is electric bike, no? What is that company? Ola. Okay. Ola company bike came, no? Someone of your friend asks you, hey, very wonderful bike, very nice bike. Where did you get? Then you say him, yesterday night I was going to a hotel. No, then immediately suddenly a lorry came and there is a bus that is an accident, and immediately this Ola bike came out of it. Doesn't make any sense to you. No? So it doesn't make any sense actually. So in the same way, this Isaac Newton, his friend used to argue like that. He used to say, Array, nothing, there is no one, everything came out of nature, no God, no controller, array, no need of having any ethical values, no ethics, no values, no system, no religion, no philosophy. Just forget it, just enjoy the world. Why you want to discuss all these things? Okay, so one day what happened? So Isaac Newton, his birthday, so he invited his friend to his house. After they had a nice lunch, and he took his friend a tour in his house. So in one place, there is a planetary model. Okay. Have you seen the planetary model? Yeah, it is there here displayed. Newton, there is a very nice planetary model was displayed there. Obviously, when the friend came to that planetary model, he asked, "Arey yaar, ye to main dekha nahi hai. Huh? I didn't see this. Where did you get it from? Very nice. You didn't show me earlier. Where did you purchase this?" Then Newton told, "Arey, I didn't do anything. Last night, what happened? I just went to urinate. No, because I attend the nature's call. It was raining heavily, and suddenly there was a big sound, a thunderbolt sound. No, a big sound came in my garden. I just ran there and I went and saw there. I saw this planetary model there." He said, "Arey, you think I am a mad fellow? What are you telling? How can this planetary model come out of some thunderbolt? Huh? Is it like that?" Newton told, no, please believe me. That's how it came." His friend told, "Arey, don't joke. You think I'm a crazy fellow? How does something complex come out of an accident?" Then Newton told, "I'm using the same logic which you use. You are not able to believe that this planetary model came out of an accident. But how do you argue that such a vast, such a unlimited universe, such a complicated universe came out of chance without no one behind that? Who is crazy? You are crazy or I'm crazy? Tell me who is crazy here. The people who argue that there is no one, just everything came out of accident. No, this is very surprising actually. Sometimes we argue like that. No, for big things we don't believe that there is a person behind that, but petty things we say no. I will show you some safety pin, and I will say, "Oh, where did you get the safety pin?" No, just something happened to me, and just the safety pin came. You don't believe it. But how do you believe that because when we are bombarded with these things, in the subject, in the school education, they say this vast universe, how did it come into existence? Nothing by Big Bang theory. Do you know what is Big Bang? They say that there is a big, a vispotanum. We say vispotanum. No, a big collision, a big bomb blast happened, and this whole universe came into existence. Do you believe this? But this is being taught. Why I am discussing all these things? Because the consciousness, the awareness about the basic truth, that defines what are our ethics and values. If you think that this nature is just something out of nothing it came, then our behavior will be also like that. But when you understand that, no, there is a person behind this, there is a reason behind this, there is a phenomena going this behind this, then you will lead a responsible life. You got the point? If you don't think like that, if you just think that, okay, just enjoy, this is the goal of our life, no ethics, no values. If I teach you for 10 years, if you have a PhD in ethics and values, you will lead a very non-ethical and non-valueless life actually. So that's why we need to understand all these things. So this is the story of Isaac Newton. This really happened. This is not a joke actually. The story of Isaac Newton. So what is the observation of Isaac Newton? This most beautiful system of the sun, planets and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. See, but this thing they don't teach in our lessons. They teach the news, what are the laws of Newton, observations of Newton, but they don't teach this. Do they teach this in our syllabus? Whenever they discuss about Newton or Kelvin or Einstein, do they quote all these things? No, they don't quote all these things. So this is very unfortunate. Okay. So we have to accept that our own education system is actually bringing out a class of completely non-ethical and all these kind of practices, because we are okay. We are not negating science here. Science is there, but we have to accept that there is a powerful intelligence behind all these things. Okay. So he says that this being governs all things, not as the soul of the world, but as Lord over all. On account of his dominion, he is to be called Lord God, universal ruler. The definition of God, which is given by Isaac Newton. See how wonderful observation it is. One more observation. Max Born is also very popular scientist, right? All of you have heard about him, right? So he says, I saw in it, in the atom, the key to the deepest secret of nature, and it revealed to me the greatness of the creation and the creator, he says. Max Born. Yeah. Who is this? Yeah, Ramanujan. An equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God, he says. Okay, Srinivas Ramanujan. Heisenberg, one more, no, very popular scientist. He says, there is a higher power not influenced by our wishes, which finally decides and judges, he says. Very clearly they are telling that. No, because this is called science actually. Science doesn't mean that you become an atheist or godless and non-ethical and lead a merry life. No. If you see all those scientists, they led a very disciplined life. No, they all had faith on Lord. Why I'm telling? Because today the more and more the generations are becoming godless. So when you become godless, we cannot artificially teach you ethics and values. No, if you deny that there is a supreme controller, if you deny that we are being controlled, and if you want to lead an ethical life, no, that itself is a very non-ethical life. No. Who is this? Michael Faraday, one more important scientist. We ought to value the privilege of knowing God's truth far beyond anything we can have in this world. See, he says. Very important statement. So all these scientists, if you see, no, so they all accept that there is a powerful, intelligent controller behind all these things. Right? Now, what are the questions? Yeah, you know this program. What is this? Kaun Banega Crorepati? No? What is the origin of the universe? Yeah, now we have to tell the answer. I will give you the options. What is the origin of the universe? Big Bang, option A. Big Band, option B. Intelligent design, option C. And chance. So what is the answer? What is the origin of the universe? Because you have heard all the session now. Now you just answer the question. What would be the answer? What did you understand from our discussion? Big Bang will be the origin of the universe. Or a big band, or out of chance it came? What do you think? There is an intelligent design. Yes. This is the answer. What is its purpose? Yeah, now, okay. Because whatever is created, it should have some purpose or not? Yes or no? Everything has a purpose. This water bottle has a purpose. No? This thing has a purpose. Everything has a purpose, right? So definitely, these are, when you compare with this unlimited complex universe, these are very small objects, right? For example, Gunde Sude. Safety pin, no, not safety pin, this. Whatever pin we use, no? Does it have any utility? Safety pin has some utility or not? It has its utility. What do you think? To manufacture a safety pin, we need a big brain, or to manufacture iPhone? Which needs more intelligence? Making some safety pin or iPhone? Which needs more intelligence? iPhone, no doubt about it. The logic is, the more complex the creation is, the more intelligent the designer is. Got the point? More complex the creation is, more complex the more intelligent the designer is. So definitely we know that a person who can manufacture iPhone is very intelligent than a person who can manufacture a safety needle. Then if that is the case, if for example, if someone has to come here who is known as the a manufacturer of an iPhone, how we will treat him, right? Then what about the person who created this whole universe? Do you think he's a dull fellow or he's the most intelligent person? Definitely he's the most intelligent person. So there should be a purpose. Because whatever a intelligent person does, there will be something useful from out of that. Only dull-headed fellows, they will make something useless. Yes or no? An intelligent person always behaves intelligently. Whatever he makes, whatever he does, it has a purpose. So now, what is the purpose of this creation? Just eat, sleep, and marry? That's what we are taught. What is the goal of life? The goal of life is, they say, to settle in the life. Okay, what do you mean by settling in the life? Getting a good job. So what do you do with a good job? You'll get good salary. What do you do if you get a salary? Eat, sleep, and marry. That's all. Do you think this is the purpose of the whole creation? Huh? Kabhi kushi, kabhi gham. Or no purpose at all. Or to understand God and life. What do you think from this four? What would be the purpose of this complex creation? No, I say, for example, a small child will come and asks me, sir, what is the purpose of this laptop? What I will do, I will take a paper and I will say, this is like a paperweight. Got it? Can't we use it as a paperweight? We do, right? Many times. If there is something, nothing is there, then we will take the paper and keep it here. But do you think this is the purpose of a laptop? No, it has a higher purpose. In the same way, we have seen such a complex creation here. And if someone says this creation is just to eat, sleep, and marry, it doesn't make any sense. And if someone says there is no purpose, that's not logical. Definitely there is a purpose. To understand God means to understand the controller and to understand the life. This is the purpose of this whole creation. But unfortunately, because we are not taught about all these things, we think that this human form of life is just to eat, sleep, and marry. If that is the goal of life, there is no use of discussing about any ethics and values. My friends, you understand the point here? If there is only higher purpose, then there is some reason in discussing ethics and values. If you think that there is no purpose of this life, just eat, sleep, and marry, then this is just nonsense talk, ethics and values. Okay, so that is the point. Okay, so to understand the God and life, no? So what is the origin of the universe and what is its purpose? These are the most important questions actually to be answered, right? Have you seen a complicated machine which came by chance and has no purpose? Please tell me. In your experience from your childhood, have you seen such a complicated machine which came by chance? As I have said, no? Like some of our friend has a Ola bike. You ask him, where did you get this Ola bike? Yeah, it came out of accident. No? Or someone asks, what happened? Where did you get this wonderful iPhone? Huh? Then someone said, okay, I have some matchbox and just I hit it on the rock and immediately it rebounced in the form of an iPhone. Do you accept it like that? No. So, have you seen a complicated machine which came by chance and has no purpose? No. So, the same thing I have already explained you about the fallacy of this Big Bang theory. Okay. So, we are not for Big Bang theory, but we are for big brain theory. Okay. The purpose, what is the source of that creation? We say there is a big brain behind this, not the Big Bang. No. According to the Big Bang theory, everything began from a point of infinite temperature, infinite density, infinitesimal size that is physically indescribable, mathematically unverifiable, beyond all conceptions of space and time. For example, you ask a crude scientist, no, sir, please explain me about this Big Bang theory. What is there before this Big Bang theory? Name. Big Bang means you understand, right? Penu vispotanam. Telugulo em cheptamante penu vispotanam anta. Okay. What is there before Big Bang? They say nothing. You got this point? Because they say that all the creation came into existence only after Big Bang. Before Big Bang, there was nothing. But my question is, how out of nothing something can blast itself? Got the point? If there should be some Big Bang, if there should be a collision, there should be something solid there. But they say that before Big Bang, there was nothing. And out of nothing, something blasted. And something blasted, and we are the result of that blast. They say that. This is the point here. It should be emphasized that no theory of the origin of solar system has yet won general acceptance. All involve highly improbable assumptions. See, if you take up Encyclopedia Britannica, If you ask about what is the source of this creation, it gives that answer. It says that there are so many ideas, but we cannot verify them. They are all just ideas, that's all. Even our Darwin theory also. You know, the Darwin theory actually in many countries in the West, they have removed it from the syllabus. You know that? How many of you heard about that? Darwin theory is being removed from the syllabus in many countries because it cannot be proved. Okay, because they are coming across so many anti examples actually to the Darwin's theory. Anyway, when that comes, I will discuss about that. Yes, the essence is by observing the world around us scientifically, we can see the hand of a supreme intelligent designer. Okay, so that is the point. Yeah. Make a comparison between government of your country and the universal government. This is very interesting actually. We'll see the comparison. Okay, national government versus universal government. Home Ministry, it takes care of law and order. So national government supplies medicines, Ministry of Energy, Electricity and Lighting, Finance Ministry, Currency or Wealth, Defense Ministry, Protection from Dangers, Education Ministry, Education for Citizens. There are so many departments. If you see the universal government, okay, Home Ministry, it takes care of law and order. In the same way, universal government also has some laws of nature. For example, if someone is into illicit sex, then it leads in acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS. If someone is smoking, then cancer will come. If someone is drinking, then liver problem will come. So these are also rules, right? It is something like maintaining the law and order. Yes or no? Because if you do this, this happens. So in that way, nature is controlling us. No, like nature is the home minister in one way. Okay. And Ayurvedic herbs, if you see, you are into horticulture, no? So there are so many herbs around us. No? If you use them, actually, no need of taking medicines also. No, so many Ayurvedic medicines, even the most untreatable diseases, actually, they are being healed by natural herbs. Naturopathy, they call it as. Naturopathy. Okay. So what is the universal ministry of energy? Sun and moon? Yes or no? Basic things. Finance ministry. Already there are so many natural resources available. Gold, silver, navaratnas, diamonds, etc. Defense ministry. Protection from dangers. Ozonosphere. Immunity in body, for examples. This ozone sphere protects us from IR and UV radiations, right? And immunity in our body in the same way. No? We have natural system. In the same way, education ministry, education for citizens. In universal government, we have Shastras like Vedas, Bible, Quran. So all these things are universal government. Okay. So lessons from the universal government activity. Behind every government, there is a prime minister. Behind the universal government, there is God. We have to accept this. Prime minister maintains and controls the country. The same way, God maintains and controls the whole universe. God means the supreme power which generates, operates, and destructs. Government law abiders live happily and government lawbreakers are punished. Yes or no? Right? As per constitution. In the same way, God's law abiders live prosperously and God's lawbreakers suffer. That's all. Okay. So the unseen is proven by the seen. What is that? In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya Mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. He says that, see, O Arjuna, everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a necklace. The logic is that the unseen is proven by the seen. Okay. If you see the necklace here, do you find a thread there? Is there any thread there? Thread is visible? Visible? What do you see in that necklace? I see only pearls. I don't see any thread there. Yes or no? But if I say there is thread also, do you accept it or not? Why? Because without thread, how those pearls will stand? Can they stand? No. The same thing. The unseen is proven by the seen. That's what is explained here. We don't see the thread, but we see the pearls strung in a proper way. That proves that there is a thread inside it. In the same way, any intelligent being, by seeing the nature, We have to understand that there is a person behind this beautiful nature. That is the point. Okay. So our prime duty, now we have to understand this. So our prime duty is use one's intelligence to appreciate the great brain of God. Okay. To use science to glorify God's creation. To create worldwide spiritual awareness. To understand and explain the purpose of Lord's creation. When our intelligence is used for all these things, all our science, all our degrees, all our universities, all these things, when we use them, when you apply them for this, no, to appreciate the great brain of God, no, after this session, I hope at least few of you got an idea. Actually, we don't appreciate many things. Actually, we have to appreciate so many things which are around us, right? So if you start using your intelligence to appreciate the great brain of God, then your life will be successful. So we need science to glorify the God's creation, not to defy that there is a supreme person. So we need to use our intelligence to create worldwide spiritual awareness, because you see nowadays in all the companies, all the education institutions, they are making this mandatory because they have understood that just materialistic way of life never makes a person happy. We see real life examples. So many millionaires, no, Steve Jobs, no, the CEO of Apple company. There are so many people who are very much intelligent, but their last, statement is that we have wasted our life because we have led a very materialistic way of life. That is their last statement, actually. So unless we don't understand our real identity, we cannot be happy. So we have to use our intelligence to understand our real identity, to understand and explain the purpose of Lord's creation, why this creation is made. No, there is a purpose behind that. It takes a different session for that. Okay. So time permits, maybe the next time, or sometime in the future, whenever it is possible. So we can go to the next session. Access the truth behind 4 defects. Okay. Summary is that we'll be discussing in that session regarding imperfect relative truth. No, you see the statement. We keep discovering better and better imperfect relative truths because humans have 4 defects. So we will be discussing about the 4 defects in that session, and we will see how this Vedic wisdom gives perfect knowledge also. Okay. So thank you for this session. So I would like to take up few questions if you have any. With that, I will stop the first session. Yes. Or any feedback or any suggestions or questions regarding this. So because this is very important, no? Once you understand that whatever we make will become fruitful in our life. But if you don't accept, it is like watering the root of a tree. If you don't know where to water the tree, if you are just pouring water on the leaves, no, on the fruits and flowers, the plant will not survive, because first of all, you have to nourish the root. Okay. So we should have a clarity about the basic truth, first of all. Once you have clarity, then whatever you do in your life, it will be successful. So the first step in doing that is to accept that there is a supreme controller. We are not independent. We are being controlled in every realm of our life. Okay. So when you understand that, all the ethics or values, whatever we discuss will make some sense. Right. So I want to hear from you if you want to share something, or if you have any questions or any discussion. Maunam Sammati Lakshanam. It is said in Shastras that Maunam Sammati Lakshanam. If you keep calm, then it means that whatever I said you have accepted, or maybe you didn't accept at all, you didn't understand everything, or you have understood everything. Something like that. Anyway, you can drop your feedback. Yes. Please. Yeah.
We believe that culture starts with agriculture.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, actually, enlightened was point on the observations of the people who are basically in the farm science sector by way of their
Okay.
farm, as compared to those who are qualified by way of degrees.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Sure. See. Mm.
The and contrast to people who are formally qualified.
Mm.
Compare.
Okay. I will give an example. You see, I told you that there are 84 lakh species, right? So for survival, all these 84 lakh species, they have to eat food, right? The four basic necessities of any species of life is eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Yes or no? These are the four basic necessities of life: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Okay. Every species of life, they depend ultimately on food, right? Okay. But if you see, other than the humankind, all the other 80 lakhs of species, beginning from aquatics and then plants, okay, insects and birds and beasts, okay, these 80 lakh species of life, because our basic necessity is to eat, they directly, every day, their primary activity is to find food. Yes or no? Their primary activity is to find food. Okay. For them, food is available everywhere. Even for human beings, food is available. But civilized human beings, what they do, they produce food. Yes or no? They produce food. This is a natural way of life. This is a natural phenomenon. There is nothing complex to understand in this. That to survive, we need food, right? So if you want food, why don't you directly grow your own food? Got the point? Now what we are doing, we will go through an education system for 20 or 25 years. Okay. Okay. First of all, the average lifespan, as we have said, 60 or 70 years. Now, let us take that 60 to 70 years the human being is going to live. In that, now what is happening? Up to the age of 20 or 25. That means for 20 or 25 years, we are going through this academic system. For what? To find a job, right? We will find a job, and the job, we will be working for 10 hours or something every day, and we will earn money. Whatever money we earn, then we will take that money, and what will you do? Where will you spend this money for? खाने के लिए, to eat, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Yes or no? The point is, when you have to ultimately depend on eating, when ultimately you are dependent on food, the logic is, that's what the Vedic wisdom is, that why don't you grow your own food? You understand the point? Because other than the human being, all the other species, they don't go for college, they don't for education system. But I'm not denying the education system. There is a part of it, I will tell you again. But if you think that, okay, we have to survive, we need food, then that's why Vedic, and that's what I'm telling, simple living and high thinking is that traditionally Indian system is dependent upon agriculture. You see, agriculture is very important, that only through agriculture system only. Now they have made it as an industry, unfortunately. Now, agriculture is the only occupation on which the all other industries are depending. Yes or no? There is a forecast that 10 years, there won't be any young generation remaining to take up the activity of cultivation. Do you observe this or not? Is it a fact or not? More and more younger generation, they no longer want to participate in producing food. But everyone is depending on food for their survival. So you don't find any relation here. So in order for a society to be healthy, no, we need agricultural sector. So that's why Vedic wisdom, it says that you should have higher thinking, but you should have simple living. Simple living means produce your own food. Okay. Produce what you eat and eat what you produce. This is the simple fact. But now we have complicated the system that first of all, we have to go for educational institutions. And again, we have to go for a job. And again, we have to earn some paper currency. And again, this paper currency, you have to take and purchase some food. But by the time you will get the food, that food will be rotten. The food will be already stored for 2 to 3 weeks or some months sometimes. You don't get any fresh milk. You don't get any fresh air. You don't get any fresh water. Do you get it? Please tell me. In cities, if you are staying in a town or a city, even now, even villages also, we don't get. The point is agricultural sector is very important. And if the government wants to solve its problems, all the unemployment problems and all these things, they have to encourage more and more agricultural sector. So the thing is, one who directly goes into the field and one who directly engages in it, no, because everyone, it is said in the Shastras that especially in Kali Yuga, the common occupation of all the Varnas, all the classes of people is to grow their own food. It is said in the Shastras. It is said that whether a person is an intellectual, because we have 4 classes of people in the society. Intellectual class, martial class. You understand what I mean by martial class? Administrative class. Okay. Intelligence class, martial class, mercantile class. The business people, and there are laborer class. It is enjoined in the Shastras that all the 4 categories of people should know how to produce their own food. Otherwise, the way ahead, we are going to see no lack of food for us. You see, it is forecasted that by 2032, there will be wars going on because of the supply of food. Because everyone wants to have a nice job, sit inside a cubicle with an air conditioner, nice cushion, a nice desktop and all, some tea or coffee vending machine next to him, some his salary falling into the account, bindas life, happy life. Everyone is taking it as a goal. Now, what is happening? Because of this false propaganda, they are showing that some agriculture is something like a primitive thing. But very soon, we are going to see that we are all going to suffer because of lack of food. Because if something has to happen to the society now, how many of you know how many of you know to grow your own food? Tell me. Got the point? How many of you can produce your own food if something has to happen now to this world? Right? So practical experience is very important. No, not just holding the degrees or something, but unless you have, so there is something called as jnanam and vijnanam. Jnanam means knowledge and vijnanam means wisdom. Practical knowledge is very important. If you don't have practical knowledge, unfortunately, the Indian education system, it is producing clerks for the whole world actually. But they are not intelligent. They cannot do anything. We are becoming like that. So at least if you keep the other professions apart, at least you have that option. You can go directly into the field and you can have in-hand experience regarding that. So this is very important actually. Wherever we go, we tell the same thing, that everyone should know the basic things, at least to how to produce your own food. See, if you don't know how to produce your own food, during natural calamities, all the other species will survive other than human being. Because anyway, all the 80 other species, they don't have any education system, they don't have any job, they don't have any constitution and all. They every morning they go out and they search food and they are satisfied. But we are not being trained like that. We are not trying to grow our own food. We are trained that not to grow your own food, you go to shop and purchase. No, in many metropolitan cities, if you ask a small boy, where do you get milk from? He says, I will get from Walmart. He doesn't know that milk is given by buffalo or some cow. No, that is the point. So very soon we are going to face this problem. So it is very, very, very much, it's an emergency thing that everyone has to understand at least how to survive. No, see, whatever the religion may be, whatever the country may be, whatever the society may be, ultimately everyone has to depend on food. But if you don't know how to produce your own food, what is the point? In that case, what happens? You can say that animals are better than human beings because we don't know how to produce our own food. With all our technology, with all our iPhones, we will just drown. That's all. What is the point? But the dog will swim. That is the point. Okay, so that's what. So any other things you want to share? So there are so many participants online also. So if you have any comments or suggestions or any questions, you can post. Or if someone feels that we cannot publicly ask some question or something like that, maybe you can share our. Someone is asking question. So we will be sharing our contact number through our sir, dear sir. So you can have any doubts or anything discussions or WhatsApp, or you can send a message to us. We are welcome to suggestions and questions and further discussions. So I think we can wind up the session here. Okay, sir. Some question. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, hope that I will meet you in the future sometime again. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, sir. And I will propose a formal vote of thanks to the guest speaker and enlightening the students on the topic ethical values and motivating the students and all of them. And thank you for your valuable lecture. And thank you, very sir, for arranging the beautiful lecture. And thank you to all the participants which are participated in the program. And thank you to the Vice Chancellor, sir, and Registrar, sir, and Dean of Horticulture, sir, Narnad, sir, and other faculty members. And thank you, one and all. Okay, afternoon session at the 2 o'clock in the CD classroom, first aid classroom, and boys hostel warden will be take the class. We are good. Meeting is declared as
ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ కంప్లీటెడ్ కదా మీ సెట్టింగ్ కూడా అయిపోయింది కదా ఆయన పెట్టి సంవత్సరాలు దానికి ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది సేల్స్
Hello?